So the next artist that we're going to be looking into is Courtney Egan. Now she's a pretty interesting artist. She's from New Orleans, Louisiana. So what's kind of interesting about her artwork is that she uses digital software to make videos of her artwork that she projects onto the wall. Now these all of her artwork basically is about the relationship between nature and technology. So it's all kind of interesting stuff, and we'd really be excited to show you it. So in order to help you find her artwork in the exhibition, what we're going to do is we're going to watch this video and see where the artworks are in the museum. However, if you want to know how to get to the museum exhibitions themselves, start the video at the very beginning and watch forward. Alright, so in order to show you where all the artworks are placed in the online exhibition, we're going to run through the video with you just so you know where they are. Now, if you need to know how to get to the online exhibition, we're going to give you this video and allow you to play it back just in case you need a refresher. But other than that, you're just going to start the video at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And we're going to go to Courtney Egan. She's our next artist that we're going to be focusing on. So just click her online thing, same as before. Go down, there's some information she presented. Go to the virtual exhibition. Alright, same thing as before. You can enter the exhibition. And now her artwork takes a little bit longer to load because unlike Marco's, she did videos. So the videos do take a little bit longer in this program to process. Alright, all the videos should be loaded by now, so I'm going to go ahead and walk down this hallway right here. Turn the corner. And this is our artwork, so if you click on it, it puts it back into center view where you can view it. And now you can see that the actual video is moving. Now that's the only way that you can really get the moving feature in this program, is if you click on the artwork. But that's our first one, and let's see here, if we just drag our mouse. Sometimes you have to make it go the opposite direction in order to turn all 360 way around. Go around here, and this is our next artwork, which is called Cluster. So as you can see, this one's another video film that you can see that's moving. So those are our two for Courtney Egan. Now let me introduce you to our last exhibition that we're going to be taking. Alright, so we're going to stop the video there since that shows our two artworks, and we're going to go ahead and present the artworks for you guys.
Alright, so the first artwork that we're going to look at by Courtney Egan is her Extinct in the Wild. As you saw in the brief exhibition tour Kat just showed you, Courtney uses HD digital projection loops for her artwork, which essentially just means that she makes short videos that are continuous. Okay, let's take a moment to think about how this artwork makes you feel. And what makes you feel that way? I think it's important to know that the flowers in this piece, Angel's Trumpets, are extinct in the wild. This means they don't exist anymore without people planting or taking care of them. They cannot survive without people. In the same way, your pet goldfish can't survive without you feeding it. Another interesting fact about these flowers is that the flowers are massive. You might have noticed their size compared to the hand in the artwork. Lastly, Angel's trumpets are poisonous. Isn't it interesting that humans are the only ones who are keeping this plant alive? However, it's deadly to humans if it's eaten. Does knowing that the flowers are poisonous change the way this artwork makes you feel? How do you feel about this artwork now? What do you think of the way that these flowers hang means? These flowers, they kind of grow upside down. The way that Courtney shows the hand holding the flowers seems like the hand is acting as the tree branch. This kind of relates to the relationship between humans and nature. The flowers need the human hand to stay alive.
Alright, so the next artwork that we have is called Cluster, and it's another one of the video projections that you see in the museum. And one thing that's kind of interesting to note is that it's made out of magnolia flowers. Now, one thing that I'm curious of is, have any of you heard of a magnolia flower? And if so, where did you hear it? One interesting thing to note about these flowers is their full name is Magnolia grandiflora, or the southern magnolia, which are commonly found in New Orleans, which is where Courtney is from and currently practicing. So one thing that I find really interesting is that these flowers are representative of southern gentility, which in olden days would mean that you had a lot of money or a lot of high social status or a fancy life. But today, it actually means acting in a respectful and elegant way, which is kind of interesting. All right, so if we look at the video, let me get it to play. You can see how the flowers are subtly opening and closing. Now, the one question I have for you guys is, how is she representing southern gentility in this piece? And why do you think that? The reason I personally think this is showing southern gentility is because that the images are slowly opening and slowly closing. Now I feel like this is a much more elegant way to represent them instead of them, say, bursting open really, really fast and then closing really fast. I feel like that would be a less elegant way to do things. And I think that overall, the piece being in a circle is a little bit more pleasing to the eye and more elegant to me personally. Another thing Courtney mentions in her piece is that it shows the opposite of southern gentility. So one thing that I'm wondering that you guys can figure out is, how does this piece show the opposite of southern gentility? And why do you think that? For me, one of the reasons that I think she shows the opposite of gentility is by including the fact that these spaces are left in the piece. She could have added more flowers in there or more buds that would cover that up, but she allowed us to see through it at this dark side, which makes it seem a little bit more ghostly, alerts us more to the fact that these flowers could be dying, perhaps, and that death and rebirth are kind of a normal thing that happens, but they might not be as elegant as we seem. But looking into it, it's still pretty beautiful knowing that something that dies will eventually come back to life. The one thing that I hope you guys take away from Courtney's exhibition is that art is so much more than a picture. It could be a video, it could be a painting on the wall, it could be a sculpture, but everything has a way that you can add art into your own world. And it has a way that you can convey a lot of meaning through simple imagery. Now, I hope that you guys liked this artwork, but we have a couple more to go through.